Title: The Deal. Author: L. Kennedy. Praise for the deal. L. Kennedy engages your senses from the very first sentence. Both deliciously steamy and heart-achingly tender, The Deal is an absolute winner. Katie Evans, New York Times best-selling author. Elle has masterfully captured the feelings, the romance, and the unbridled sexiness of the new adult genre with this book. You will swoon for Garrett. Alice Clayton, New York Times best-selling author of Wallbanger. I loved this book. Garrett is dreamy. If you love N.A., you must read The Deal. Monica Murphy, New York Times best-selling author. This was one of the best college romances I've read. I laughed, I swooned, I couldn't put it down. Highly recommended. Astis Book Blog. The Deal, a spicy, standalone novel from New York Times and international best-selling author L. Kennedy. She's about to make a deal with the college bad boy. Hannah Wells has finally found someone who turns her on. But while she might be confident in every other area of her life, she's carting around a full set of baggage when it comes to sex and seduction. If she wants to get her crush's attention, she'll have to step out of her comfort zone and make him take notice, even if it means tutoring the annoying, childish, cocky captain of the hockey team in exchange for a pretend date. And it's going to be oh so good. All Garrett Graham has ever wanted is to play professional hockey after graduation, but his plummeting GPA is threatening everything he's worked so hard for. If helping a sarcastic brunette make another guy jealous will help him secure his position on the team, he's all for it. But when one unexpected kiss leads to the wildest sex of both their lives, it doesn't take long for Garrett to realize that pretend isn't going to cut it. Now he just has to convince Hannah that the man she wants looks a lot like him. Originally published in 2015, this is an updated, edited version. Contents: Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3, Chapter 4, Chapter 5, Chapter 6, Chapter 7, Chapter 8, Chapter 9, Chapter 10, Chapter 11, Chapter 12, Chapter 13, Chapter 14, Chapter 15, Chapter 16, Chapter 17, Chapter 18, Chapter 19, Chapter 20, Chapter 21, Chapter 22, Chapter 23, Chapter 24, Chapter 25, Chapter 26, Chapter 27, Chapter 28, Chapter 29, Chapter 30, Chapter 31, Chapter 32, Chapter 33, Chapter 34, Chapter 35, Chapter 36, Chapter 37, Chapter 38, Chapter 39, Chapter 40, Chapter 41, Chapter 42, Chapter 43, Chapter 44, Epilogue. Bonus Chapter, The Graham Effect Teaser. Other titles by L. Kennedy. Author's note about the author. 1. Hannah. He doesn't know I'm alive. For the millionth time in 45 minutes, I sneak a peek in Justin Cole's direction, and he's so beautiful it makes my throat close up. Though I should probably come up with another adjective, my male friends insist that men don't like being called beautiful. But holy hell, there's no other way to describe his rugged features and soulful brown eyes. He's wearing a baseball cap today, but I know what's beneath it. Thick, dark hair, the kind that looks silky to the touch and makes you want to run your fingers through it. In the 5 years since my assault, my heart has pounded for only 2 guys. The first one dumped me. This one is just oblivious. At the podium in the lecture hall, Professor Tolbert delivers what I've come to refer to as the disappointment speech. It's the 3rd one in 6 weeks. Surprise, surprise, 70% of the class got a C+ or lower on the midterm. Me? I aced it. And I'd be lying if I said the big red A circled on top of my midterm hadn't come as a complete shock. All I did was scribble down a never-ending stream of bullshit to try to fill up the booklet. Philosophical ethics was supposed to be a breeze. The prof who used to teach it handed out brainless multiple-choice tests and a final exam consisting of a personal essay that posed a moral dilemma and asked how you'd react to it. But 2 weeks before the semester started, Professor Lane dropped dead from a heart attack. I heard his cleaning lady found him on the bathroom floor, naked. Poor guy. Luckily, and yep, that's total sarcasm, Pamela Toldert stepped in to take over Lane's class. She's new to Briar University, and she's the kind of prof who wants you to make connections and engage with the material. If this were a movie, she'd be the young, ambitious teacher who shows up at the inner city school and inspires the fuck-ups, and suddenly everyone's picking up their pencils and the end credits scroll up to announce how all the kids got into Harvard or some shit. Instant Oscar for Jennifer Lawrence. Except this isn't a movie, which means that the only thing Tolbert has inspired in her students is hatred, and she honestly can't seem to grasp why nobody is excelling in her class. Here's a hint. It's because she asks the types of questions you could write a frickin' grad school thesis on. I'm willing to offer a makeup exam to anyone who failed or received a C- or lower. Tolbert's nose wrinkles as if she can't fathom why it's even necessary. The word she just used, willing? Yeah, right. I heard that a ton of students complained to their advisors about her, and I suspect the administration is forcing her to give everyone a redo. It doesn't reflect well on Briar when more than half the students in a course are flunking, especially when it's not just the slackers. Straight A students like Nell, who's sulking beside me, also bombed the midterm. For those of you who choose to take it again, your 2 grades will be averaged. If you do worse the second time, the first grade will stand. Tolbert finishes. I can't believe you got an A, Nell whispers to me. She looks so upset that I feel a pang of sympathy. Nell and I aren't best pals or anything, but we've been sitting next to each other since September, so it's only reasonable that we've gotten to know each other. She's on the pre-med path, and I know she comes from an overachieving family who would lay into her if they found out about her midterm grade. I can't believe it either, I whisper back. Seriously, read my answers. They're ramblings of nonsense. Actually, can I? She sounds eager now. I'm curious to see what the tyrant considers A material. I'll scan and email you a copy tonight, I promise. The second Tolbert dismisses us, the lecture hall echoes with "let's get the hell out of here" noises. Laptops snap shut, notebooks slide into backpacks, students shuffle out of their seats. Justin Cole lingers near the door to talk to someone, and my gaze locks in on him like a missile. He's beautiful. Have I mentioned how beautiful he is? My palms go clammy as I stare at his handsome profile. He's new to Briar this year, but I'm not sure which college he transferred from. And although he wasted no time becoming the star wide receiver on the football team, he's not like the other athletes at this school. He doesn't strut through the quad with one of those "I'm God's gift to the world" smirks, or show up with a new girl on his arm every day. I've seen him laugh and joke with his teammates, but he gives off an intelligent, intense vibe that makes me think there are hidden depths to him. Which just makes me all the more desperate to get to know him. I'm not usually into jocks, but something about this one has turned me into a mindless pile of mush. You're staring again. Nell's teasing voice brings a blush to my cheeks. She's caught me drooling over Justin on more than one occasion, and she's one of the few people I've admitted the crush to. My roommate Allie also knows, but my other friends? Hell no. Most of them are music or drama majors, so I guess that makes us the artsy crowd. Or maybe emo. Aside from Allie, who's had an on-again, off-again relationship with a frat boy since freshman year, my friends get a kick out of trashing Briar's elite. I don't usually join in. I like to think gossiping is beneath me, but let's face it, most of the popular kids are total douchebags. Case in point, Garrett Graham, the other star athlete in this class. Dude walks around like he owns the place.
I guess he kind of does. All he has to do is snap his fingers and an eager girl appears at his side, or jumps into his lap, or sticks her tongue down his throat. He doesn't look like the BMOC today, though. Almost everyone else has gone, including Tolbert, but Garrett remains in his seat, his fists curled tightly around the edges of his booklet. He must have failed too, but I don't feel much sympathy for the guy. Briar is known for 2 things, hockey and football, which isn't much of a shocker considering Massachusetts is home to both the Patriots and the Bruins. The athletes who play for Briar almost always end up in the pros, and during their years here, they get everything handed to them on a silver platter, including grades. So yeah, maybe it makes me a teeny bit vindictive, but I get a sense of triumph from knowing that Tolbert is failing, the captain of our championship-winning hockey team, right along with everyone else. Want to grab something from the coffee hut? Nell asks as she gathers her books. Can't. I've got rehearsal in 20 minutes. I get up, but I don't follow her to the door. Go on ahead. I need to check the schedule before I go. Can't remember when my next tutorial is. Another perk of being in Tolbert's class. Along with our weekly lecture, we're forced to attend 2 30-minute tutorials a week. On the bright side, Dana, the TA, runs those, and she has all the qualities Tolbert lacks, like a sense of humor. Okay, Nell says. I'll see you later. Later, I call after her. At the sound of my voice, Justin pauses in the doorway and turns his head. Oh my God. It's impossible to stop the flush that rises in my cheeks. This is the first time we've ever made eye contact, and I don't know how to respond. Say hi? Wave? Smile? In the end, I settle for a small nod of greeting. There, cool and casual, befitting of a sophisticated college junior. My heart skips a beat when the corner of his mouth lifts in a faint grin. He nods back, and then he's gone. I stare at the empty doorway. My pulse explodes in a gallop because, holy shit, after 6 weeks of breathing the same air in this stuffy lecture hall, he's finally noticed me. I wish I were brave enough to go after him, maybe ask him to grab a coffee, or dinner, or brunch. Wait, do people our age even have brunch? But my feet stay rooted to the shiny laminate floor, because I'm a coward. Yep, a total chicken shit coward. I'm terrified that he'll say no, but I'm even more terrified he'll say yes. I was in a good place when I started college. My issues solidly behind me, my guard lowered. I was ready to date again, and I did. I dated several guys, but other than my ex, Devin, none of them made my body tingle the way Justin Cole does, and that freaks me out. Baby steps. Right, baby steps. That was my therapist's favorite piece of advice, and I can't deny that the strategy helped me a lot. Focused on the small victories, Corral always advised. So, today's victory? I nodded at Justin, and he smiled at me. Next class, maybe I'll smile back. And the one after that, maybe I'll bring up the coffee, dinner, or brunch idea. I take a breath as I head down the aisle, clinging to that feeling of victory, however teeny it may be. Baby steps. Garrett, I failed. I fucking failed. For 15 years, Timothy Lane handed out A's like mints. The year I take the class, Lane's ticker quits ticking, and I get stuck with Pamela Tolbert. It's official. The woman is my arch enemy. Just the sight of her flowery handwriting, which fills up every inch of available space in the margins of my midterm, makes me want to go Incredible Hulk on the booklet and rip it to shreds. I'm rocking A's in most of my other courses, but as of right now, I'm getting an F in philosophical ethics. Combined with the C+ in Spanish history, my average has dropped to a C-. I need a C+ average to play hockey. Normally, I have no problem keeping my GPA up. Despite what a lot of folks believe, I'm not a dumb jock. But hey, I don't mind letting people think I am. Women, in particular. I guess they're turned on by the idea of screwing the big, brawny caveman who's only good for one thing. But since I'm not looking for anything serious, casual hookups with chicks that only want my dick suit me just fine. Gives me more time to focus on hockey. But there won't be any more hockey if I don't bring up this grade. The worst thing about Briar? Our dean demands excellence, academically and athletically. While other schools might be more lenient toward athletes, Briar has a zero-tolerance policy. Fucking Tolbert. When I spoke to her before class asking for extra credit, she told me in that nasally voice of hers to attend the tutorials and meet with the study group. I already do both. So yeah, unless I hire some whiz kid to wear a mask of my face and take the makeup midterm for me, I'm screwed. My frustration manifests itself in the form of an audible groan, and from the corner of my eye, I see someone jerk in surprise. I jerk too, because here I thought I was wallowing in my misery alone. But the girl who sits in the back row has stuck around, and she's making her way down the aisle toward Talbert's desk. Mandy? Marty? I can't remember her name, probably because I've never bothered to ask for it. She's cute, though, a hell of a lot cuter than I realized. pretty face, dark hair, smokin' body. Shit, how have I never noticed that body before? But I'm noticing now. Skinny jeans cling to a round, perky ass that just screams squeeze me, and her V-neck sweater hugs a seriously impressive rack. I don't have time to admire either of those appealing visuals because she catches me staring and a frown touches her mouth. "Everything okay?" she asks with a pointed look. I grumble something under my breath. I'm not in the mood to talk to anyone at the moment. One dark eyebrow rises in my direction. "Sorry, was that English?" I ball up my midterm and scrape my chair back. "I said, everything's fine." "Okay then," she shrugs and continues down the steps. As she picks up the clipboard that contains our tutorial schedule, I fling my Briar hockey jacket on, then shove my pathetic midterm into my backpack and zip it up. The dark-haired girl heads back to the aisle. Mona? Molly? The M sounds right, but the rest is a mystery. She has her midterm in hand, but I don't sneak a peek because I assume she failed just like everyone else. I let her pass before I step into the aisle. I suppose I can say it's the gentleman in me, but that would be a lie. I want to check out her ass again because it's a damn sexy ass, and now that I've seen it, I wouldn't mind another look. I follow her up to the exit, suddenly realizing how freaking tiny she is. I'm one step below her, yet I can see the top of her head. Just as we reach the door, she stumbles on absolutely nothing, and the books in her hand clatter to the floor. Shit, I'm such a klutz. She drops to her knees, and so do I, because, contrary to my previous statement, I can be a gentleman when I want to be, and the gentlemanly thing to do is help her gather her books. "Oh, you don't have to do that. I'm fine," she insists. But my hand has already connected with her midterm, and my jaw drops when I see her grade. "Fucking hell, you aced it?" I demand. She gives a self-deprecating smile. "I know, right? I thought I failed for sure." Holy shit, I feel like I've just bumped into Stephen fucking Hawking and he's dangling the secrets to the universe under my nose. "Can I read your answers?" Her brows quirk up again. "That's rather forward of you, don't you think? We don't even know each other." I roll my eyes. "I'm not asking you to take your clothes off, baby. I just want to peek at your midterm." "Baby? Goodbye forward. Hello, presumptuous. Would you prefer miss? Ma'am? Maybe? I'd use your name, but I don't know it." "Of course you don't," she sighs. "It's Hannah." Then she pauses meaningfully. "Garrett. Okay, I was way off on the M thing." And I don't miss the way she emphasizes my name as if to say, "Ha, I know yours, asshole." She collects the rest of her books and stands up, but I don't hand over her midterm. Instead, I hop to my feet and start flipping through it. As I skim her answers, my spirits plummet even lower, because if this is the kind of analysis Tolbert is looking for, I'm screwed. There's a reason I'm a history major, for Christ's sake. I deal in facts, black and white. This happened at this time to this person, and here's the result. Hannah's answers focus on theoretical shit and how the philosophers would respond to the various moral dilemmas. Thanks. I give her the booklet, then hook my thumbs in the belt loops of my jeans. "Hey, listen, would you consider?" I shrug. "You know." Her lips twitch as if she's trying not to laugh. "Actually, I don't know." I let out a breath. "Will you tutor me?" Her green eyes, the darkest shade of green I've ever seen, and surrounded by thick black eyelashes, go from surprised to skeptical in a matter of seconds. "I'll pay you," I add hastily. "Oh, well, yeah, of course I'd expect you to pay me." "But..." She shakes her head. "I'm sorry, I can't." I bite back my disappointment. Come on, do me a solid. If I fail this makeup, my GPA will implode. Please. I flash a smile, the one that makes my dimples pop out and never fails to make girls melt. "Does that usually work?" she asks curiously. "What? The aw shucks little boy grin? Does it help you get your way?" "Always," I answer without hesitation. "Almost always," she corrects. "Look, I'm sorry, but I really don't have time. I'm already juggling school and work, and with the winter showcase coming up, I'll have even less time." "Winter showcase?" I say blankly. Right, I forgot. If it's not about hockey, then it's not on your radar. Now who's being presumptuous? You don't even know me. There's a beat, and then she sighs. I'm a music major, okay? And the arts faculty puts on two major performances every year, the winter showcase and the spring one. The winner gets a $5,000 scholarship. It's kind of a huge deal, actually. Important industry people fly in from all over the country to see it. Agents, record producers, talent scouts. So, as much as I'd love to help you, you would not, I grumble. You look like you don't even want to talk to me right now. Her little "you got me" shrug is grating as hell. I have to get to rehearsal. I'm sorry you're failing this course, but if it makes you feel better, so is everyone else. I narrow my eyes. Not you. I can't help it. Tolbert seems to respond to my brand of bullshit. It's a gift. Well, I want your gift. Please, master, teach me how to bullshit. I'm 2 seconds from dropping to my knees and begging her, but she edges to the door. You know there's a study group, right? I can give you the number for... I'm already in it, I mutter. Oh, well, then there's not much else I can do for you. Good luck on the makeup test. Baby. She darts out the door, leaving me staring after her in frustration. Unbelievable. Every girl at this college would cut her freaking arm off to help me out. But this one runs away like I just asked her to murder a cat so we could sacrifice it to Satan. And now I'm right back to where I was before Hannah, not with an M, gave me that faintest flicker of hope. Royally screwed. 2. Garrett. My roommates are piss-drunk when I walk into the living room after study group. The coffee table is overflowing with empty beer cans, along with a nearly depleted bottle of Jack that I know belongs to Logan because he subscribes to the beer is for pussies philosophy. His words, not mine. At the moment, Logan and Tucker are battling each other in a heated game of Ice Pro, their gazes glued to the flat screen as they furiously click their controllers. Logan's gaze shifts slightly when he notices me in the doorway, and his split second of distraction costs him. Hell to the yeah! Tuck crows as his defenseman flicks a wrist shot past Logan's goalie and the scoreboard lights up. Oh, for fuck's sake. Logan pauses the game and levels a dark glare at me. What the hell, G? I just got deked out because of you. I don't answer, because now I'm distracted by the half-naked make-out session happening in the corner of the room. Dean's at it again. Bare-chested and barefoot, he's sprawled in the armchair while a blonde in nothing but a lacy black bra and booty shorts sits astride him and grinds against his crotch. Dark green eyes peer over the chick's shoulder, and Dean smirks in my direction. Graham, where have you been, man? He slurs. He goes back to kissing the blonde before I can answer the drunken question. For some reason, Dean likes to hook up everywhere but his bedroom. Seriously, every time I turn around, he's in the midst of some form of debauchery. On the kitchen counter, the living room couch, the dining room table, dude's gotten it on in every inch of the off-campus house the four of us share. He's a total slut and completely unapologetic about it. Granted, I'm not one to talk. I'm no monk, and neither are Logan and Tuck. What can I say? Hockey players are horny motherfuckers. When we're not on the ice, we can usually be found hooking up with a puck bunny or two, or 3 if your name is Tucker and it's New Year's Eve of last year. I've been texting you for the past hour, man, Logan informs me. His massive shoulders hunch forward as he swipes the whiskey bottle from the coffee table. Logan's a bruiser of a defenseman, one of the best I've ever played with, and also the best friend I've ever had. His first name is John, but we call him Logan because it makes it easier to differentiate him from Tucker, whose first name is also John. Luckily, Dean is just Dean, so we don't have to call him by his mouthful of a last name, Hayward De Laurentiis. Seriously? Where the hell have you been? Logan grumbles. Study group. I grab a Bud Light from the table and pop the tab. What's this surprise you kept blabbing about? I can always tell how plastered Logan is based on the grammar of his texts. And tonight, he must be shit-faced because I had to go full-on Sherlock to decrypt his messages. Surprise meant surprise. GABH had taken longer to decode, but I think it meant get your ass back here. But who knows with Logan? From his perch on the couch, he grins so broadly, it's a wonder his jaw doesn't snap off. He jerks his thumb at the ceiling and says, "Go upstairs and see for yourself." I narrow my eyes. Why? Who's up there? Logan snickers. If I told you, then it wouldn't be a surprise. Why do I get the feeling you're up to something? Geez, Tucker pipes up. You've got some major trust issues, G. Says the asshole who left a live raccoon in my bedroom on the first day of the semester. Tucker grins. Come on. Bandit was fucking adorable. He was your welcome back to school gift. I flip up my middle finger. Yeah, well, your gift was a bitch to get rid of. Now I scowl at him because I still remember how it took 3 pest control guys to de-raccoon my room. For fuck's sake, Logan groans. Just go upstairs. Trust me, you'll thank us for it later. The knowing look they exchange eases my suspicion. Kind of. I mean, I'm not about to let down my guard completely, not around these assholes. I steal 2 more cans of beer on my way out. I don't drink much during the season, but Coach gave us the week off to study for midterms, and we still have 2 days of freedom left. My teammates, lucky bastards, seem to have no problem downing 12 beers and playing like champs the next day. Me? Even a buzz gives me a rip-roaring headache the morning after, and then I skate like a toddler with his first pair of Bowers. Once we're back to a 6 days a week practice schedule, my alcohol consumption will drop to the usual 1-5 limit. 1 drink on practice nights, 5 after a game. No exceptions. I plan on taking full advantage of the time I have left. Armed with my beers, I head upstairs to my room, the master bedroom. Yup, I was not above playing the "I'm your captain" card to snag it, and trust me, it was worth the argument my teammates put up. Private bath, baby. My door is ajar, a sight that snaps me right back into suspicion mode. I warily peer up at the frame to make sure there isn't a bucket of blood up there, then give the door a tiny shove. It gives way, and I inch through it, fully prepared for an ambush. I get one, except it's more of a visual ambush, because, damn, the girl on my bed looks like she stepped out of a Victoria's Secret catalog. Now, I'm a guy. I don't know the names of half the shit she's wearing. I see white lace and pink bows and lots of skin, and I'm happy. Took you long enough. Kendall shoots me a sexy smile that says, "You're about to get lucky, big boy," and my cock reacts accordingly, thickening beneath my zipper. I was giving you 5 more minutes before I took off. I made it just in time then. My gaze sweeps over her drool-worthy outfit, and then I drawl, "Aw, babe, is that all for me?" Her blue eyes darken seductively. "You know it, stud." I'm well aware that we sound like characters from a cheesy porno, but come on, when a man walks into his bedroom and finds a woman who looks like this, he's willing to reenact any trashy scene she wants, even one that involves him pretending to be a pizza guy delivering pies to a MILF. Kendall and I first hooked up over the summer, out of convenience more than anything else, because we both happened to be in the area during the break. We hit the bar a couple times, one thing led to another, and the next thing I know, I'm fooling around with a hot sorority girl. But it fizzled out before midterm started, and aside from a few dirty texts here and there, I haven't seen Kendall until now. "I figured you might want to have some fun before practice starts up again," she says, her manicured fingers toying with the tiny pink bow in the center of her bra. "You figured right." A smile curves her lips as she rises to her knees. Damn, her tits are practically pouring out of that lacy thing she's wearing. She crooks a finger at me. "Come here." I waste no time striding toward her, because, again, I'm a guy. "I think you're a tad overdressed," she remarks, then grasps the waistband of my jeans and teases the button open. She tugs on the zipper, and a second later, my dick springs into her waiting hand. I haven't done laundry in weeks, so I've been going commando until I get my shit together, and from the way her eyes flare with heat, I can tell she approves of the whole no boxers thing. When she wraps her fingers around me, a groan slips out of my throat. Oh, yeah, there's nothing better than the feel of a woman's hand on your cock. Nope, I'm wrong. Kendall's tongue comes into play, and holy shit, it's so much better than her hand. An hour later, Kendall snuggles up beside me and rests her head on my chest. Her lingerie and my clothes are strewn on the bedroom floor, along with 2 empty condom packages and the bottle of lube we hadn't needed to crack open. The cuddling makes me apprehensive, but I can't exactly shove her away and demand she hit the road, not when she clearly put a lot of effort into this seduction. But that worries me too. Women don't get all decked out in expensive lingerie for a hookup, do they? I'm thinking no, and Kendall's next words validate my uneasy thoughts. I missed you, baby. My first thought is, shit. My second thought is, why? Because in all the time we've been hooking up, Kendall hasn't made a single effort to get to know me. If we're not having sex, she just talks non-stop about herself. Seriously, I don't think she's asked me a personal question about myself since we met. I struggle for words. Any sequence of them that doesn't consist of I, miss, you, and two. I've been busy. You know, midterms. Obviously. We go to the same college. I was studying too. There is an edge to her tone now. Did you miss me? Fuck me sideways. What am I supposed to say to that? I'm not going to lie, because that'll only lead her on, but I can't be a dick about it and admit she hasn't even crossed my mind since the last time we hooked up. Kendall sits up and narrows her eyes. It's a yes or no question, Garrett. Did you miss me? My gaze darts to the window. Yup, I'm on the 2nd floor and actually contemplating jumping out the frickin' window. That's how badly I want to avoid this convo. But my silence speaks volumes, and suddenly Kendall flies off the bed, her blonde hair whipping in all directions as she scrambles for her clothes. Oh my God, you are such an ass. You don't care about me at all, do you, Garrett? I get up and make a beeline for my discarded jeans. I do care about you, I protest, but she angrily shoves her panties on. But what? But I thought we were clear about what this was. I don't want anything serious. I shoot her a pointed look. I told you that from the start. Her expression softens as she bites her lip. I know, but I know exactly what she thought, that I'd fall madly in love with her and our casual hookup would transform into the fucking Notebook. Honestly, I don't know why I bother laying down ground rules anymore. In my experience, no woman enters into a fling believing it's going to stay a fling. She might say otherwise, maybe even convince herself she's cool with a no-strings sex fest, but deep down she hopes and prays it'll lead to something deeper. And then I, the villain in her personal rom-com, swoop in and burst that bubble of hope, despite the fact that I never lied about my intentions or misled her, not even for a second. Hockey is my entire life, I say gruffly. I practice 6 days a week, play 20 games a year, more if we make it to the postseason. I don't have time for a girlfriend, Kendall, and you deserve a hell of a lot more than I can give you. Unhappiness clouds her eyes. I don't want a casual fling anymore. I want to be your girlfriend. Another why almost flies out of my mouth, but I bite my tongue. If she'd shown any interest in me outside the carnal sense, I might believe her. But the fact that she hasn't makes me wonder if the only reason she wants a relationship with me is because I'm some kind of status symbol to her. I swallow my frustration and offer another awkward apology. I'm sorry, but that's where I'm at right now. As I zip up my jeans, she refocuses her attention on getting her clothes on. Though clothes is a bit of a stretch. All she's sporting is lingerie and a trench coat, which explains why Logan and Tucker were grinning like idiots when I got home. Because when a girl shows up at your door in a trench coat, you know damn well there's not much else underneath it. I can't see you anymore, she finally says, her gaze finding mine. If we keep doing this, I'll only get more attached. I can't argue with that, so I don't. We had fun though, right? After a beat, she smiles. Yeah, we had fun. She bridges the distance between us and leans up on her tiptoes to kiss me. I kiss her back, but not with the same degree of passion as before. I keep it light, polite. The fling has run its course, and I'm not about to lead her on again. With that said, her eyes twinkle mischievously. Let me know if you change your mind about the girlfriend thing. You'll be the first person I call, I promise. Good. She smacks a kiss on my cheek and walks out the door, leaving me to marvel over how easy that went.
I'd been steeling myself for a fight, but aside from that initial burst of anger, Kendall had accepted the situation like a pro. If only all women were as agreeable as her. Yup, totally a jab at Hannah there. Sex always stirs up my appetite, so I head downstairs in search of nourishment, and I'm happy to find there's still leftover rice and fried chicken, courtesy of Tuck, who is our resident chef, because the rest of us can't boil water without burning it. Tuck, on the other hand, grew up in Texas with a single mom who taught him to cook when he was still in diapers.
I settle at the eat-in counter, shoving a piece of chicken in my mouth just as Logan strolls in, wearing nothing but plaid boxers. He raises a brow when he spots me. "Hey, I didn't think I'd see you again tonight. Figured you'd be VBF." "VBF?" I ask between mouthfuls. Logan likes to make up acronyms in the hopes that we'll start to use them as slang, but half the time I have no idea what he's babbling about. He grins. "Very busy fucking." I roll my eyes and eat a forkful of wild rice. "Seriously, Blondie's gone already?" "Yep." I chew before continuing. She knows the score. The score being no girlfriends and definitely no sleepovers. Logan rests his forearms on the counter, his blue eyes gleaming as he changes the subject. "I can't fucking wait for the St. Anthony's game this weekend. Did you hear? Braxton's suspension's over." That gets my attention. "No shit? He's playing on Saturday?" "Sure is." Logan's expression turns downright gleeful. I'm gonna enjoy smashing that asshole's face into the boards. Greg Braxton is St. Anthony's star left wing and a complete piece of shit human being. The guy's got a sadistic streak that he's not afraid to unleash on the ice, and when our teams faced off in the preseason, he sent one of our sophomore D-men to the emergency room with a broken arm, hence his 3-game suspension. Though if it were up to me, the psycho would have been slapped with a lifetime ban from college hockey. You need to throw down. I'll be right there with you, I promise. I'm holding you to that. Oh, and next week, we've got Eastwood heading our way. I really should pay more attention to our schedule. Eastwood College is number 2 in our conference, second to us, of course, and our matchups are always nail-biters. And shit, it suddenly dawns on me that if I don't ace the ethics redo, I won't be on the ice for the Eastwood game. Fuck, I mumble. Logan swipes a piece of chicken off my plate and pops it in his mouth. What? I haven't told my teammates about my grade situation yet because I'd been hoping my midterm grade wouldn't hurt me too bad, but now it looks like fessing up is unavoidable. So with a sigh, I tell Logan about my F in ethics and what it could mean for the team. "Drop the course," he says instantly. "Can't. I missed the deadline." Crap. Yep. We exchange a glum look, and then Logan flops down on the stool beside mine and rakes a hand through his hair. "Then you gotta shape up, man. Study your balls off and ace this motherfucker. We need you, G." I know. I grip my fork in frustration, then put it down, my appetite vanishing. This is my first year as captain, which is a major honor considering I'm only a junior. I'm supposed to follow in my predecessor's footsteps and lead my team to another national championship. But how the hell can I do that if I'm not on the ice with them? "I've got a tutor lined up," I assure my teammate. "She's a frickin' genius." "Good. Pay her whatever she wants. I'll chip in if you want." I can't help but grin. "Wow, you're offering to part with all your sweet, sweet cash? You must really want me to play." "Damn straight. It's all about the dream, man. You and me and Bruins jerseys, remember?" I have to admit, it's a damn nice dream. It's what Logan and I have been talking about since we were assigned as roommates in freshman year. I didn't enter the draft because I wanted to focus on college, but there's no doubt in my mind that I'll go pro after I graduate. No doubt about Logan getting drafted either. The guy's faster than lightning and a goddamn beast on the ice. "Get that fucking grade up, G," he orders. "Otherwise, I'll kick your ass." Coach will kick it harder. I muster up a smile. "Don't worry, I'm on it." Good. Logan steals another piece of chicken before wandering out of the kitchen. I scarf down the rest of my food, then head back upstairs to find my phone. It's time to ramp up the pressure on Hannah, not with an M. 3. Hannah. "I really think you should sing that last note in E major," Cass insists. He's like a broken record, throwing out the same unreasonable suggestion each time we finish running through our duet. Now, I'm a pacifist. I don't believe in using fists to solve your problems. I think organized fighting is barbaric, and the idea of war makes me queasy. Yet I'm this close to punching Cassidy Donovan in the face. The key is too low for me. My tone is firm, but it's impossible to hide my annoyance. Cass runs a frustrated hand through his wavy dark hair and turns to Mary Jane, who's fidgeting awkwardly on the piano bench. You know I'm right, MJ, he pleads at her. It'll pack more of a punch if Hannah and I end in the same key instead of doing the harmony. No, it'll have a bigger impact if we do the harmony, I argue. I'm ready to rip my own hair out. I know exactly what Cass is up to. He wants to end the song on his note. He's been pulling shit like this ever since we decided to team up for the winter performance, doing everything he can to single out his own voice while shoving me into the background. If I'd known what a fucking prima donna Cass was, I would have said hell no to a duet. But the jackass decided to show his true colors after we started rehearsals, and now it's too late to back out. I've invested too much time in this duet, and honestly, I truly do love the song. Mary Jane wrote an incredible piece, and a part of me really doesn't want to let her down. Besides, I know for a fact that the faculty prefers duets to solos because the last 4 scholarship-winning performances have been duets. The judges go cuckoo bananas for complex harmonies, and this composition has them in spades. MJ? Cass prompts? I can see the petite blonde melting under his magnetic stare. Cass has that effect on women. He's infuriatingly handsome, and his voice happens to be phenomenal. Unfortunately, he's fully aware of both these assets and has no qualms using them to his advantage. Maybe Cass is right, MJ murmurs, avoiding my eyes as she betrays me. Why don't we try the E major, Hannah? Let's just do it once and see which one works better. Benedict Arnold, I want to shout, but I bite my tongue. Like me, MJ has been forced to deal with Cass's outrageous demands and brilliant ideas for weeks now, and I can't blame her for trying to strike a compromise. Fine, I grumble. Let's try it. Triumph lights Cass's eyes, but it doesn't stay there long, because after we sing the song again, it's clear that his suggestion stinks. The note is far too low for me, and instead of causing Cass's gorgeous baritone to stand out, my part sounds so clumsily off that it draws attention away from his. I think Hannah should stick to the original key. Mary Jane looks at Cass and bites her lip, as if she's afraid of his reaction. But although the guy is arrogant, he's not stupid. Fine, he snaps. We'll do it your way, Hannah. I grit my teeth. Thank you. Fortunately, our hour is up, which means the rehearsal space is about to belong to one of the first-year classes. Eager to get out of there, I quickly gather my sheet music and slip into my pea coat. The less time I have to spend with Cass, the better. God, I can't stand him. Ironically, we're singing a deeply emotional love song. Same time tomorrow? He eyes me expectantly. No, tomorrow is our 4 o'clock day, remember? I work Tuesday nights. Displeasure hardens his face. You know, we could have mastered this song a long time ago if your schedule wasn't so inconvenient. I arch a brow. Says the guy who refuses to rehearse on weekends? Because I happen to be free both Saturday and Sunday nights. His lips tighten, and then he saunters off without another word. Dick. A heavy sigh echoes behind me. I turn around and realize MJ is still at the piano, still biting her lip. I'm sorry, Hannah, she says softly. When I asked you guys to sing my song, I didn't realize Cass would be so difficult. My annoyance thaws when I notice how upset she is. Hey, it's not your fault, I assure her.
I wasn't expecting him to be this much of a jerk either. But he's an amazing singer, so let's just try to focus on that, okay? You're an amazing singer too. That's why I chose the two of you. I couldn't imagine anyone else bringing the song to life, you know? I smile at her. She really is a sweet girl, not to mention one of the most talented songwriters I've ever met. Every piece that's performed in the showcase has to be composed by a songwriting major, and even before MJ approached me, I had already planned on asking to use one of her songs. I promise you, we're going to sing the shit out of your song, MJ. Ignore Cass's bullshit tantrums. I think he just likes arguing for the sake of arguing. She laughs. Yeah, probably. See you tomorrow? Yep, 4 o'clock sharp. I give her a little wave, then leave the choir room and head outside. One of my favorite things about Briar is the campus. The buildings, ancient and covered with strands of ivy, are connected to each other by cobblestone paths lined with sweeping elms and wrought iron benches. The university is one of the oldest in the country, and its alumni roster contains dozens of influential people, including more than one president. But the best thing about Briar is how safe it is. Seriously, our crime rate is next to zero, which probably has a lot to do with Dean Farrow's dedication to the safety of his students. The school invests a ton of money in security in the form of strategically placed cameras and guards that patrol the grounds 24 hours a day. Not that it's a prison or anything, the security guys are friendly and unobtrusive. In all honesty, I barely notice them when I'm wandering around campus. My dorm is a 5-minute walk from the music building, and I breathe a sigh of relief when I walk through Bristol House's massive oak doors. It's been a long day, and all I want to do is take a hot shower and crawl into bed. The space I share with Allie is more of a suite than a regular dorm room, which is one of the perks of being upperclassmen. We have 2 bedrooms, a small common area, and an even smaller kitchen. The only downside is the communal bathroom we share with the 4 other girls on our floor, but luckily none of us are slobs, so the toilets and showers usually stay squeaky clean. Hey, you're back late. My roommate pokes her head into my bedroom, sucking on the straw poking out of her glass. She's drinking something green and chunky and absolutely gross looking, but it's a sight I've grown accustomed to. Allie has been juicing for the past 2 weeks, which means that every morning I wake up to the deafening whir of her blender as she prepares her icky liquid meals for the day. I had rehearsal. I kick off my shoes and toss my coat on the bed, then proceed to strip down to my underwear despite the fact that Allie is still in the doorway. Once upon a time, I had been too shy to get naked in front of her. When we shared a double in freshman year, I spent the first few weeks changing under my blanket or waiting until Allie left the room. But the thing about college is, there's no such thing as privacy, and sooner or later, you just have to accept that. I still remember how embarrassed I was the first time I saw Allie's bare breasts, but the girl has zero modesty, and when she'd caught me staring, she just winked and said, "I've got it going on, huh?" After that, I didn't bother with the under-the-blanket routine anymore. So, her casual opening raises my guard. I've lived with Allie for 2 years, long enough to know that when she starts a sentence with, "So listen," it's usually followed by something I don't want to hear. I say as I grab my bathrobe from the hook on the door. There's a party at Sigma House on Wednesday night. Her blue eyes take on a stern glint. "You're coming with me." I groan. "A frat party? No way." "Yes way." She folds her arms over her chest. "Midterms are over, so you don't get to use that as an excuse. And you promised you'd make an effort to be more social this year." I had promised that, but here's the thing. I don't like parties. I was raped at a party. God, I hate that word, rape. It's one of the few words in the English language that has a visceral effect when you hear it, like a bone-jarring slap to the face or the chill of ice water being dumped over your head. It's ugly and demoralizing, and I try so hard not to let it control my life. I've worked through what happened to me. Believe me, I have. I know it wasn't my fault. I know I didn't ask for it or do something to invite it. It didn't steal my ability to trust people or cause me to fear every man that crosses my path. Years of therapy helped me see that the burden of blame lies solely on him. There was something wrong with him, not me, never me. And the most important lesson I learned is that I'm not a victim. I'm a survivor. But that's not to say the assault didn't change me. It absolutely did. There's a reason I carry pepper spray in my purse and have 911 ready to dial on my phone if I'm walking alone at night. There's a reason I don't drink in public or accept beverages from anyone, not even Allie, because there's always a chance she might unwittingly be handing me a cup that's been tampered with. And there's a reason I don't go to many parties. I guess it's my version of PTSD. A sound or a smell or a glimpse of something harmless makes the memories spiral to the surface. I hear music blaring and loud chatter and raucous laughter. I smell stale beer and sweat. I'm in a crowd of people. And suddenly, I'm 15 years old again and right back at Melissa Mayer's party, trapped in my own personal nightmare. Allie softens her tone when she sees my distressed face. We've done this before, Han. It'll be like all those other times. You'll never be out of my sight, and neither of us will drink a single drop. I promise. Shame tugs at my gut. Shame and regret and a touch of awe, because man, she truly is an incredible friend. She doesn't have to stay sober and remain vigilant just to make me feel comfortable, but she does it every time we go out, and I love her deeply for it, but I hate that she has to do it. Okay, I relent, not just for her sake, but my own. I had promised her I'd be more social, but I also promised myself that I would make an effort to try new things this year, to lower my guard and stop being so damn afraid of the unfamiliar. A frat party might not be my idea of a great time, but who knows? Maybe I'll end up enjoying it. Allie's face brightens. Booyah! And look, I didn't even have to play my trump card. What trump card? I ask suspiciously. A grin lifts the corners of her mouth. Justin is going to be there. My pulse speeds up. How do you know? Because Sean and I ran into him in the dining hall and he said he'll be there. I guess a bunch of the meatheads were already planning on coming. I scowl at her. He's not a meathead. Aw, look how cute you are defending a football player. Hold on, let me go outside to see if pigs are flying in the sky. Haha. Seriously, Han, it's weird. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm totally on board with you crushing on someone. It's been, what, a year since you and Devin broke up? But I just don't understand how you, of all people, are into a jock. Discomfort climbs up my spine. He's not like the rest of them. He's different, says the girl who's never spoken a single word to him. He's different, I insist. He's quiet and serious, and from what I've seen, he doesn't bang anything in a skirt the way his teammates do. Oh, and he's smart. I saw him reading Hemingway in the quad last week. It was probably a required reading. It wasn't. She narrows her eyes. How do you know that? I feel the blush rising in my cheeks. Some girl asked him about it in class the other day, and he told her Hemingway is his favorite author. Oh my God, you're eavesdropping on his conversations now? You're such a creeper. Allie heaves out a sigh. Okay, that's it. Wednesday night, you're exchanging actual dialogue with the guy. Maybe, I say non-committally. If the opportunity arises, I'll make it arise. Seriously, we're not leaving that frat house until you talk to Justin. I don't care if it's just you saying, hey, how are ya? You're talking to him. She jabs her finger in the air. Capiche? I snicker. Capiche? She repeats in a strict tone. After a beat, I release a defeated breath. Capiche. Good. Now hurry up and take a shower so we can watch a couple episodes of Ted Lasso before bed. One episode. I'm too exhausted for any more than that. I grin at her. Capiche? Capiche, she grumbles before waltzing out of my room. I chuckle to myself as I gather the rest of my shower supplies, but I'm sidetracked yet again. I've barely taken 2 steps to the door when a cat meows in my purse. The high-pitched wail is the ringtone I chose for text messages because it's the only one annoying enough to get my attention. I set my toiletry case on the dresser, rifle through my bag until I locate my cell phone, then scan the message on the screen. Hey, it's Garrett. Wanted to hammer out the deets re-tutoring sked. Ugh, for fuck's sake. I don't know whether to laugh or groan. The guy's tenacious, I'll give him that. Sighing, I quickly shoot back a text, short and not at all sweet. Me, how'd you get this number? Him, study group sign-up sheet. Crap. I'd signed up for the group at the start of the semester, but that was before Cass decided we had to rehearse on Mondays and Wednesdays at the exact time the study group meets up. Another message pops up before I can respond, and whoever said it isn't possible to detect a person's tone via text was totally wrong, because Garrett's tone is full-on irritable. Him. If you just showed up to study group, I wouldn't have to text you. Me. You don't have to text me at all. Actually, I'd prefer if you didn't. Him. What'll it take to get you to say yes? Me. Absolutely nothing. Him. Great, so you'll do it for free. The groan I've been holding slips out. Me. Not happening. Him. How about tomorrow night? I'm free at 8. Me. Can't. I have the Spanish flu. Highly contagious. I just saved your life, dude. Him. Aw, I appreciate the concern, but I'm immune to pandemics that wiped out 40 mil people from 1918 to 1919. How is it you know so much about pandemics? Him a history major, baby. I know tons of useless facts. Ugh, again with the baby thing? Alrighty, clearly it's time to put an end to this before he gets his flirt on. Me. Well, nice chatting with you. Good luck on the makeup exam. When several seconds tick by and Garrett doesn't respond, I give myself a mental pat on the back for successfully getting rid of him. I'm about to walk out the door when my phone meows and a picture pops up. Against my better judgment, I click on it, and a moment later, a bare chest fills the screen. Yep, I'm talking smooth tan skin, sculpted pecs, and the tightest six-pack I've ever seen. I can't help but snort out loud. Me, FFS, did you just send me a pic of your chest? Yep. Did it work? In icking me out? Yes. Success. In changing your mind? I'm trying to butter you up here. Ew. Go butter up someone else. P.S. I'm posting that pic on my Briar. I'm referring, of course, to My Briar, our school's equivalent of Facebook, which 95% of the student body is on. Go for it. Lots of chicks will be happy to have it in their spank banks. Lose this number, dude. I mean it. I don't wait for a response. I just toss my phone on the bed and go take a shower. 4. Hannah Briar University is 5 miles from the town of Hastings, Massachusetts, which has one main street and only about 24 shops and restaurants. The town is so minuscule, it's a miracle I managed to land a part-time job there, and I thank my lucky stars for it every day, because most students are forced to make the hour-long drive to Boston if they want to work during the school year. For me, it's either a 10-minute bus ride or a 5-minute drive, and then I'm at Della's, the diner I've been waitressing at since freshman year. Tonight, I'm lucky and get to drive over. I have an arrangement with Tracy, one of the girls who lives on my floor. She lets me use her car whenever she doesn't need it, as long as I return it with a full tank of gas. It's a sweet deal, especially in the winter when the whole area turns into a snow-covered skating rink. I don't particularly like my job, but I don't hate it either. It pays well and it's close to campus, so really, I can't complain. Scratch that. Tonight, I'm definitely allowed to complain, because 30 minutes before my shift ends, I find Garrett Graham in one of my booths. Seriously, does this guy ever give up? I have no desire to go over there and serve him, but I don't have much of a choice. Lisa, the other waitress on duty, is busy tending to a group of faculty members at a table across the room, and my boss, Della, is behind the baby blue Formica Connor, dishing out slices of pecan pie to 3 freshman girls sitting on the tall swivel stools. I set my jaw and march up to Garrett, making my displeasure obvious as I meet his twinkling gray eyes. He runs a hand through his cropped dark hair and flashes a lopsided grin. "Hey there, Hannah. Fancy meeting you here." "Yeah, fancy," I mutter, yanking my order pad out of my apron pocket. "What can I get you?" "A tutor." "Sorry, that's not on the menu." I smile sweetly. "We serve really good pecan pie, though." "You know what I did last night?" he says, without acknowledging the sarcasm. "Yep, you were tech stalking me." He rolls his eyes. "Before that, I mean." I pretend to think it over. You hooked up with a cheerleader?" "No, you hooked up with the girls' hockey team." "No, wait, they're probably not ditzy enough for you." I stick with my original guess. Cheerleader. "Sorority sister, actually," he says smugly. "But I'm talking about what I did before that." He raises one dark eyebrow. "But I'm very intrigued by your interest in my sex life. I can give you details about that another time if you want." I don't. "Another time," he echoes in a dismissive tone, folding his hands on the blue and white checkered tablecloth. He's got big hands with long fingers, short nails, and knuckles that are slightly red and cracked. I wonder if he's been in a fight recently, but then I realize the busted-up knuckles are probably a hockey player thing. "I was at study group yesterday," he informs me. "There were 8 other people there, and you know what the highest mark was?" He blurts out the answer before I can hazard a guess. C+, and our combined average was a D. How am I supposed to pass this makeup if I'm studying with people who are as dumb as I am? I need you, Wellesley. Wellesley? Is that a nickname? And how on earth does he know that my last name is Wells? I never told. Damn sign-up sheet. Garrett notices my surprised look and cocks his brows again. "I learned a lot about you in study group. Got your number, your full name, even found out where you work. Congratulations, you really are a stalker." "Nope, just thorough. I like to know what I'm up against." Jesus, Harold Christ, I'm not tutoring you, okay? Go bug somebody else. I point at the menu in front of him. "Are you ordering? Because if not, then please go away and let me do my job in peace." Jesus, Harold Christ. Garrett snickers before picking up the laminated menu and giving it a cursory glance. "I'll have a turkey club."
He sets the menu down, then reaches for it again, and a bacon double cheeseburger. Just the burger, no fries. Actually, I changed my mind. Yes to the fries. Oh, and a side order of onion rings. My jaw almost hits the floor. You're seriously going to eat all that? He grins. Of course, I'm a growing boy. Boy? Nuh-uh. I'm only noticing it now, probably because I've been too distracted by how insufferable he is, but Garrett Graham is all man. There's nothing boyish about him, not his chisel.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.